This is the second video on the binary tree tool. So what I'd like to talk about right now is selecting nodes. There are a number of operations for which you need to select a node before you can apply the operation. For example, deleting, duplicating, etc. And so the way we select, there's several ways to select. The first way is simply shift clicking on a node. So I'm hitting the shift key, I'm clicking on the 9, and it indicates that it is selected by the yellow highlighting here. Okay, so that is the how to select a single node. It toggles, so if you click something selected, it will deselect. Another way to select is to shift drag. If you shift drag, a little box will appear, and the box will surround some nodes, and those nodes will be selected. If you select some nodes that are already selected, but you also are selecting at least one node that is not selected, it will just be added to the group. However, if all the nodes you select are already selected, all the ones that surround, then it will toggle, it will deselect. Okay, so I can shift click to select a single node, I can shift drag to select multiple nodes, and I can, go back and forth and do those things. The other thing that we can do is, oh, by the way, to just turn off all selections, I hit the escape key, which I'm doing right now, and that makes sure everything is deselected. It is sometimes convenient to select a whole subtree. And so if I want to do that, I just hover the cursor over the node and hit the T key for tree. And that will select the node and all of its subnodes. If all the nodes are already selected, then I can, then it will deselect everything, okay? So I can go down here to the 4, and I can hit the T key, and that will, since all 4 and all of its subnodes, there's only 1, 8, were already selected, it deselects. Okay, I can hover over 9, hit the T key, all those guys get selected, etc. So that's another way I can do selection. Okay, and again, I can hit the escape key, and that will deselect everything. Okay. What are the uses of selection? Well, one of the uses of selection is I might want to move a group of nodes together that maybe are not connected to, if I just pick a root, then I can move that, I can move a subroot. But let's say I wanted to move the 653 and the 0. Okay, if I select both of those, now, if you apply like a drag or a mouse click to change color or almost anything, it will apply to, if you apply it to a selected node, that command will typically get applied to all selected nodes. So here I'm dragging, and I can do that. Anyway, so when I do a drag, if the node I have is not selected, it just applies it to that node. But if it is selected and other nodes are selected as well, it'll apply it to all of those nodes. Okay, so one thing we can do, if you move the root, the subtree goes. But if you select the root, let's say shift click, now I can move the root by itself. Okay, so that would be the way to move the root by itself, is by selecting the root, and then the other things do not come along with it. Okay, I can also delete. And so, for example, let's say I wanted to delete the 653 and the 630 and the 8. Okay, deletion can either be effected by hitting the delete key, the backspace key, or the X key. And so any of those, or by hitting the delete button right up here. So let's hit the delete button here, and we will see those 3 nodes go away. Maybe I didn't want them to go away. I can hit undo to bring them back, etc. Another thing we can do is we can duplicate a set of nodes. So let's say I want to duplicate this set of nodes. When you duplicate a set of nodes, any links that are common to them also get duplicated. So I'm going to hit the D key for duplicate right now, and the newly created nodes are now selected, so I can drag them off somewhere else. Okay, so and if I want to duplicate them again, I can do that, etc. Okay, so I can also duplicate nodes. And so those are some of the main things that we'll see. Some other places selection comes in later videos, but that is the basic idea. Okay, now if I want to delete a single node, yeah, I can delete a single node by moving off the screen. If I want to duplicate a node, oh boy, I have to first click to select it and then D for duplicate. Well, it turns out that if you don't have anything selected, you can, and you are in what is called hover mode. So we're going to go back into the settings and we're going to click perform commands on hover. What that means is all the common commands like deleting and duplicating and such, and we'll see more later. If nothing is selected and you're hovering over a node, it will be applied to that node as if it were selected. And so I'm hovering right now over the 4. I hit delete and the 4 goes away. I did not have to select. Let's do an undo for that. So that's and that actually turns out to be very convenient because it's just one less step. Instead of select and then apply command, you can just move the mouse and then use the keyboard to apply command, and it actually works pretty well. Anyway, so that's what hover mode is, and I almost always have hover mode on because I often want to do things with a single node, and I like being able to do it without the extra step. Okay, this is the end of this video, and we'll see you at the next one.